Saturday, you made it to the weekend. We did too. Thanks for joining us on AMHQ Weekend. Now, it's September 26th. It's the first full weekend of fall. I'm Kait Parker. We've got Kelly Cass. We've got Dr. Greg Postel, and a lot to talk about.
Yeah, you know, that snow tease got me thinking.
Know, right?
We got to start talking about snow sooner.
Yet.
Not that far
Not
away.
today, but maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day.
Blasphemy.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of looking forward toward winter.
Go back to Wisconsin.
I know. Right?
But in the meantime, you know, it's actually relatively cool in the southeast underneath the clouds and the rain. Not exactly picture perfect.
Rainfall flooding as well.
Exactly. So that is definitely our big concern today. Coastal concerns, but even inland all the way over towards Knoxville and even Atlanta, kind of a drizzly, foggy morning out there. Can't rule out more showers today.
More of those with the heavy downpours in Florida. But man, if you are in the Midwest, you are sitting pretty. You've got, you know, kind of these extra days. You're on borrowed time with summer.
We showed you that snow video a little while ago, so you know it's coming eventually, but not with temperatures like this. I mean, 94 in Billings, that's hotter than Atlanta, Georgia today, and beautiful weather from Minneapolis. Cubs are at home in Chicago. Could not be better, right?
Right. Great
Gorgeous
stuff there, but the tidal flooding, something we're really paying close attention to.
Exactly. In fact, renewed concerns.
You're like, is it fall? Certainly doesn't feel like it. Your average high is 85 degrees. Look at your forecast this week. You'll be in the 90s through Monday. Hey, how about an 89 on Tuesday? That'll almost feel like a cold front. And then 92 once again on Wednesday for you in Dallas. So this is what's going on. This low that's basically focusing all of our weather on in the southeast and giving us slightly cooler, overcast, drizzly type showers. Well, it's very different under this ridge. Look at this. That has basically taken over the northern plains, the Midwest, all the way down into the southern plains as well. This is focusing in the heat, keeping us in this summer-like pattern, even though we're now into fall. Billings, look at that. Man, you're going to be the focus for some heat. Above average temperatures for most locations. Look at these. 92 for Dallas, Houston 92, Little Rock 86, 85 for Oklahoma City. And while these temperatures aren't unusual for these cities, they're unusual for this time of year. They're above average. Look at that. We're sticking with it tomorrow. We're going to stay warm for your Sunday. New Orleans, you're actually going to be a little below average. Hey, but it's because of the rain. Sorry. I wish I could say it was because it was nice forecast. Nope. As that rain spreads north, actually even Jackson, you're going to be a little below average. But they're in Houston too. 6 degrees below by Monday. But it's, again, because of the rain. Kelly.
Oh, but meanwhile, the weather's been perfect for the Holy Father. Pope Francis using part of this historic first trip to the United States to speak about climate change. He addressed the United Nations General Assembly yesterday, the fourth pope ever to do so. The pontiff brought his message of protecting the poor and the hungry. But again, like he did to Congress, he also addressed climate issues, saying action is needed to halt the destruction of the environment.
Forecast. We know that either you're going to the game or you're getting cozy on your couch. You want to know how your players will be doing and the impacts at the stadium. How about in Athens, Georgia? At Sanford Stadium, we have the number 7 Georgia Bulldogs facing off against the Southern Jaguars, and the forecast is not great. It'll be cloudy and cool most of the day. You might see a few showers even later in this afternoon. Kind of that off and on rain situation, so be ready for that. How about what else we have? If we could look at the next game, we'll show you what's going on in Morgantown, West Virginia, as the West Virginia Mountaineers take on the Maryland Terrapins. The Terps there. Oh, you're going to be loving this. You've got cloudy skies. Nice, because you don't have quite as much reflection, right, from the sun beating down on you. Same in Auburn, Alabama. We'll take the clouds as a good thing. Makes for better photographs, better viewing of the field whenever you have all those clouds. Wind's going to be light, so no problems there for the long passes or for the kickers. Just a light north wind. Different story. Look at this. Duke versus Georgia Tech. This is in Durham, North Carolina at the Duke campus. I got to tell you what, this is not a good looking forecast. Persistent, rainy, chilly conditions, and it wouldn't be so bad if you didn't have that rain and the wind blowing in sideways. The wind is really going to be the component that could not only affect the outcome of the game, you as a visitor might have a really hard time. We might see some delays in Greenville, North Carolina. You get any thunder and we're going to have to move everybody in. This is another spot where winds are an issue. Right around 15 miles an hour out of the east-northeast, and they'll be variable at times with some gusts in there. So if you're a kicker, I know you're paying attention to this forecast this morning very closely. Columbia, South Carolina, we've got the Gamecocks versus the Central Florida Knights. UCF there. This is actually great weather. You're going to feel great compared to the heat of Orlando, playing in mid-70s. Winds out of the northeast about 10 miles an hour, so not bad. And in Gainesville, it's a risk of a thunderstorm. We know that you're used to it there. The Tennessee Volunteers, it might be a little warm for you. Getting up there in the 80s, the humidity going to be on the high side, so it'll feel a little oppressive if you're heading out to the game. Also, just be careful. Remember, when thunder roars, head indoors. You're responsible for your own safety. Tucson, Arizona. It's UCLA against the Arizona Wildcats. And kickoff today, 5 p.m. After the sun sets, things get a little cooler, but man, the 90s this afternoon, it's definitely going to be a warm one. You'll feel that heat. Ann Arbor, Michigan, we've got the Michigan Wolverines against the BYU Cougars, number 22 ranked right now. Temperature's great. Look at this. The winds, though, going to be a little breezy at times, up to 13 miles an hour. That 11 a.m. Kickoff keeps you nice and cool in the 70s. I think this is almost perfect, right? Not too hot.
I love it.
Not too cold.
Yeah.
All you need is your favorite gear and some hot dogs and maybe a cold one.
Sounds good to me. Great for tailgating as well.
Yeah. Welcome back to AMHQ Weekend. We've got to get our tropical update because there's a little something fishy happening south of the Yucatan Peninsula.
Yeah, what is that,
Sorry,
Kate?
I'm touching it.
No, good, please. What is that? That's an area of thunderstorms, not organized, but we have this area to watch, not for what's going to happen today so much, or tomorrow. I think it's going to be what happens, say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Not there either. Up here.
But if you look up here, you look at these clouds, I kind of can see a little bit of a pattern going on with them, right?
You correctamundo can, and that is a lot of strong winds aloft right now over the Gulf of Mexico, which is one of the reasons why this doesn't really have a high probability of turning into a tropical system, because up here, the winds aloft are too strong for really the sustenance of a tropical system or the development of one. 20% chance of turning into a named storm over the next 5 days. So that's pretty low. I think there will be low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico with impacts to the U.S. next week, but not tropically.
Okay.
That makes sense. Yes.
So it may feel like a tropical system, though, although it won't have that circulation, that wind. Is it more of a rain concern that you have?
I think you're right. I think that's right. Technically and meteorologically, it's not going to be a tropical cyclone, but there will be rain and there will be some breezy conditions. And a lot of that has to do with the jet stream. The jet stream, yes, we can see a big dip in the jet stream right in here. I love looking at the water vapor imagery. And inside of that, there's some very strong winds aloft over 100 miles per hour at about 30,000 feet. But this dip in the jet stream is going to be, I would say, the primary culprit in lowering the pressures out in this region. We would oftentimes see this kind of thing up here, and we get a big storm system moving across the country. It just so happens it's happening down there, and that's why we're seeing low pressure develop there.
Okay, but this also is going to inhibit that development at the same time into a tropical system.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I think that's right.
Twofold.
Yeah, right. So it's going to develop the low pressure system, and there may be some thunderstorms with it too, and it may acquire some, maybe some what are called technically warm core characteristics, but that doesn't matter. Forget what it's called. We'll have this kind of broad gyre here by Monday, bringing some rain along the coast and breezy conditions, maybe 10 to 20 miles per hour, maybe a little bit more than that. And then from there on out, Monday, Tuesday, probably going to cross the coast and bring all that rain inland right here into the southeast where it's already raining.
Right.
So we're not going to get a break. It's going to be a rainy time, I think, this upcoming week.
It looks like temperatures, too, impacted here. Going to be a little cooler thanks to the rain.
Thanks to the rain. And this is what we can thank for not making this thing a tropical cyclone. Look at that dip in the jet stream, strong winds aloft. We'll keep it more of a garden variety low pressure with impacts, but not a hurricane.
Right, because all that heat that's released is just getting knocked away off the top of those storms.
Exactly.
Okay, so coming up on AMHQ Weekend, I've got a little experiment.